Greetings. Alvis Tennant here, The Way of Victory. 50 plus years of martial and healing arts and still counting. Today I want to talk to you about a concept I learned from Dr. G called the 3 H's in the art, martial/healing art. Hurting, healing, and harmony. So you begin hurting, you want to start fighting, you're fighting in hard style, and this is the path I took. Then healing, you've got damage or you've damaged someone and you begin to learn how to heal. And then the harmony part is where you develop harmony first within yourself and then harmony with every living thing, and harmony in all your relationships and harmony in your lifestyle. So my healing journey began in 1999. I just turned 40 and had many years in kickboxing and hardstyle karate, some American boxing, and I began to feel aches and pains. I think I was probably 42, 43, but I began to feel like aches and pains on my elbow. See, prior to this, when I was younger, coming up, I had a very high pain threshold, and I could take a lot of punches and kicks, particularly on my elbows and the forearm here, and the person's foot or leg would hurt more than my elbow. And I prided myself on that ability to use these elbow blocks, so the blocks became like weapons. But my pain tolerance was very high, and I never felt it. But then I started feeling these pains in my elbow, pains in my knee, pains in my back. I just began to feel all types of pain that I hadn't before, the aging process. And I learned about the 3 H's, and the hurting, healing, and harmony. And I knew I needed to delve into the path of healing and harmony. I was blessed to run into an acupuncturist here in North Carolina, and we were able to make a kind of an exchange, his services for my services. I taught him martial arts and healing, martial and healing arts, or mainly martial arts. Provided me with acupuncture and had an extensive library on acupuncture and Chinese medicine in particular, and gave me many books on Chinese medicine that helped me, the rest of my life. And I began to know from the reading and then intensive conversations with him, I began to see that there was what's yin and yang, the balance of yin and yang in the body. So the yin is your internal energy, the yang is your external energy. So when you're younger, your yang energy is very prevalent. And that's what I was saying. I didn't feel any pain. I had a tremendous amount of energy, and I was exhausting my energy. So the doctor explained to me that what happens is your yang energy actually feeds off the yin, the internal energy, which can become depleted. And then once it's depleted, then the aging process really accelerates after 40. And so we went on a regimen to correct what he called a yin deficiency in myself. And I went right into that healing journey. That's when I got into the healing arts in 1999. The first thing I did was I had some Min Zen from Dr. G. That's very similar to Qigong, where you're working with air and breath and motion to generate, gather, and store internal energy. So I had a form that I'd been doing, but I got more involved in that. And then I learned the short Tai Chi form as well as some Qigong forms, and just continued to read extensively about Chinese medicine and the healing arts. And gradually I began to feel my energy coming back. The pain began to dissipate. Now keep this in mind, I continue to work with the yang energy, but now I have a store of yin. So I still had to do the push-ups, the running when I could, or different practicing martial arts. I still did the external practice. I also had a tremendous amount of practice and development of the internal art. And this helped me to go on my healing journey. And so then I began to go share these things with Dr. G, who had a tremendous amount of knowledge of Chinese medicine as well. And he'd always tell me about the Burmese Bando healing art of Min Zen. I went to several what we call monk camps. That's the aspect of Bando that deals with nonviolent, more energy-based healing art. It's very similar to Qigong. I began to go to the camps and work with that aspect of Bondo. And as I practiced it, I could feel my energy coming back, and I was still able to do the external, but the internal was beneficial and was enhanced, and I could feel the pains begin to dissipate, and my energy continue to grow, and I'm continuing to work in that way. And the older I get, the more I really have to focus on those internal aspects, because keep this in mind, your yin feeds your yang. So the reason I'm still able to walk upright and not bent over or don't give in to my pain, aches and pains, is because I've got a tremendous storehouse of yin energy that I continue to cultivate. So Dr. G began to work with me on Min Zen and the other healing arts of Qigong began to benefit me, and then the concept is to generate, gather, and store internal energy. And so all the exercises that I do, those are the three principles I practice: generate, gather, and store the internal energy. And then that internal energy is like gas in your tank. You use it to expel the external energy. It's been very beneficial to me, and I want to leave you with one exercise. We've talked about it before, but just starting with just breathing. If you do what's called diaphragmatic breathing, put your hand on your stomach, and when you breathe in, listen to me, when you breathe in, push the stomach out, and then when you breathe out, the stomach goes in, as though the stomach were a balloon. Let's do a couple more of those. Breathe in, stomach out, out, stomach in. Breathe in, stomach out, out, stomach in. Just that. It can be the beginning of your journey in cultivating your internal energy. I just wanted to share that with you. I had some questions, and some of my students had asked me about my time in healing arts, because I mentioned the 50 plus years. I haven't really dwelled into healing arts for that long. I was primarily martial arts in the beginning, but in 1999, I incorporated the healing arts in my journey, and that's a big part of my program now. It's what I teach and what I practice. I want to thank you all for sharing this time with me, and want you to too, never forget, you're born to win.